"Wow, that's awesome," thought Lucius as he observed the young woman, Lydia, finishing tying her shoes. With a slightly puzzled expression, he asked, "By the way, how old is he now?" Lydia, still helping him put on his clothes, replied with a hint of smugness, "Oh, he's still young, just over 70. Lucius was stunned by the answer. At 19 years old, he couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions. He knew he would soon become an immortal, but he wondered if their age difference would be a barrier between him and his future wife, Estelle. Would his parents approve? What would his friends think? Lydia's old companion, who had held her as a baby, was 50 years older than her, yet they seemed youthful. Such is the way of warriors, with their prolonged lifespans. Maybe I've been too conservative, Lucius thought. If you're enjoying this story, please follow, share, and like LDT Group. Our channel is facing difficulties, and your support, even something as small as a coffee donation via PP at LDT Group, can help keep us going. Every contribution counts. Check our bio for more details. Lucius continued, "So, what do you think of him?" Lydia responded, "I've rejected him countless times. I don't want to get married." Taking the coat from Lydia instead of letting her dress him, Lucius said coldly, "You don't have to. If you find someone who makes you happy, don't hesitate." Quickly putting on his jacket and adjusting his attire meticulously, Lucius prepared for his upcoming date with Estelle. As he glanced at himself in the mirror one last time, he said, "I may not always be stationed here in the Eastern Military Zone. You're still young, with your whole future ahead of you. I'm leaving now. You may go." Lydia nodded. "Yes, sir." Lucius, as he walked away, thought to himself, "Everyone has their own secrets. As long as it doesn't affect me, I don't care." At the Blue Dove restaurant, Lucius stood outside, gazing up with anticipation. He smiled sheepishly as he recalled how he had stood her up the last time they had met at this very place. This time, he promised himself he would make it up to her. Suddenly, he heard the familiar sound of heels clicking behind him. Without needing to turn, he knew she had arrived. "Lucius," came her soft, soothing voice, pulling him out of his thoughts. He spun around, eyes widening at the sight of Estelle, dressed in a short, elegant dress and heels, nothing like the usual military uniform she wore. He was mesmerized. In his mind, she was always the strict soldier, but today she exuded a beauty he had never witnessed before. "Wow," was all he could muster, unable to hide his admiration. She smiled playfully, her eyes twinkling with mischief. "Are you surprised?" Lucius, still dazed, chuckled and replied, "Not surprised, just in awe." Her soft laughter broke the tension, and she teasingly asked, "Have you looked enough? Let's go eat." While Lucius wanted to say something more mischievous, like, "Forget dinner, let's just enjoy each other," he grinned widely and offered her his hand. Estelle, a little shy, placed her hand in his, their fingers interlocking. They walked together, hand in hand, under the dim lights of the restaurant. It was a picture-perfect moment of youthful romance. After they sat down, the table was soon filled with delicious dishes: grilled prawns, roasted meat, and golden, crispy fish. The rich aromas filled the air, tempting Lucius, who normally ate voraciously. He reached out to grab a piece but hesitated, remembering that he was on a date. Clearing his throat, he tried to act more composed. Estelle bit into a piece of hot meat, wincing slightly. "Ouch, it's hot!" she exclaimed. Concerned, Lucius quickly asked, "Are you okay? Did it burn you?" Seeing that she was fine, he took the chance to lighten the mood. "How about after this, we go watch a movie?" Estelle smiled, happiness radiating from her as they continued to enjoy their meal, surrounded by an air of warmth and romance. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, a couple of nosy maids were gossiping. "So, Lord Lucius is in love, huh?" one of them said. The other maid added, I wouldn't have guessed, considering how cold he seemed. Right as they were lost in their conversation, a stern voice interrupted. What are you two gossiping about? The two women turned in shock to see Lydia standing behind them, her face expressionless, yet menacing. Sweat beaded down their faces as they realized they had been caught. If I hear you talking about Lord Lucius behind his back again, you'll both be sent to the military prison, Lydia snapped. Terrified, the maids scurried away without another word. Lydia turned and walked toward the back wall of the mansion, where a figure cloaked in black stood, a trail of cigarette smoke rising into the air. Why are you here? Lydia asked coldly. The man threw his cigarette on the ground and crushed it underfoot. When are you going to act? The boss is running out of patience, he replied, his voice icy. Lydia furrowed her brow in frustration. We're in the Eastern Military Zone, and Lucius is a rising star here. How do you expect me to make a move without getting caught? The man, clearly growing anxious, insisted. He's getting too strong. If we wait any longer, even the gene extracted from a 9th-tier beast won't be able to take him down. Lydia, maintaining her calm, reassured him. Don't worry. The Eastern Military Assembly is coming up soon. He'll be traveling to Central Command for the event. That's when I'll strike, and once it's done, I'll make my escape. The man nodded approvingly. Good. You've got a plan. Remember, once this is over, the boss will ensure you rise to the rank of Grandmaster. Your status will be as high as a disciple of the War Saint. He lit another cigarette, taking a deep drag before continuing, and if you don't want to follow the martial path, you'll be rewarded with more money than you could ever spend in a lifetime. Of course, he added with a leer, there's another offer I could make. Lydia waved the smoke away in disgust, glaring at the man. Enough. Don't come looking for me again. If Lucius finds out, everything will be ruined. Without waiting for a reply, Lydia turned and strode away, leaving the man standing there. He spat angrily after her, muttering under his breath, You really think you'll come out of this alive, don't you? If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to follow, share, and like the LDT Group channel. Your support can help us keep going, even with a small coffee donation via PP at LDT Group. Every little bit helps. Check our bio for more details.